Let's talk about pass by reference. When we pass by reference, we pass a pointer, which is a place in computer memory of the variable to a function. So any operations inside of the function do modify that original variable. Lists and dictionary arguments are always passed by reference. Let's take a look at an example of pass by reference for a list. Let's say we have this function add2. It's going to append the number 2 to whatever list that it receives. Let's say we have the list 1, 2, 3, 4 as a value inside of the variable numbers. So we have the variable named numbers, and this list is inside of it. When we call add2 of numbers, what happens when we call add2 is that we are going to have a variable called nums, but that is actually going to be the same object. So they are both going to be using the same list. When we do print a result, it's going to print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, which is probably what we expect. When we pass the numbers, it's going to append 2 to the end. What happens if we print numbers? The value inside of numbers has also been appended to because lists are passed by reference. So when this gets printed out, it's also going to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Let's go over an example for a dictionary passed by reference. We have this function called addC. We're going to add the key C with the value 2 to our dictionary. We have this original dictionary called count. A maps to 3, B maps to 1. So we have a variable called count, and this dictionary is the value inside of this variable. When we do addC of count, what we're doing here is we're passing this variable where it is in memory in the computer to addC. When we do that, mapping is going to point to the same object. It's going to point to the same thing. Mapping and count both have the value A mapping to 3, B mapping to 1, and they point to the same item. This means that when we do addC, we're going to add C to that dictionary. And then when we print result, we're going to print that entire dictionary. When we print count, it's also going to print out that entire dictionary. Because dictionaries are passed by reference, they are going to point to the same one. Head on over to EdStem and do the reference exercise.